Hey everyone, I wanted to do a new video here. I've been trying to think because nobody asks questions or anything. I'm not as big as some of my favorite people, so I haven't been asked, any questions or nobody's made any suggestions on videos they'd like to see me do, whether they be like comical or serious, whatever, or different topics to bring up and whatnot. But I figure one of the ones that's probably like a typical one, especially when you're trying to get to know somebody, which I think a lot of people were trying to get to know me and figure out, what I'm all about and everything. One of the things you'll find out about me is I'm really big on books and music. It's like usually that's my thing for like Christmas. It's like when you want for Christmas, it's like, well, books or music. It's like it's like kind of a no-brainer where I'm concerned. And so I decided I'm gonna do a thing here on music eventually, on my favorite CDs and whatnot. But I decided I would start with books, because they've always been very dear to my heart. And I'm not doing like a specific list and everything. So when I do these, I might tell you what like my favorite book is or something, but this isn't gonna be like a 1 through 10 or anything, because I obviously don't have all the books out here that I like. I just picked through certain ones that really stand out to me or have stood out throughout the years. And I have other books out in the garage that I have packed away. I'm trying to put the ones out here in the house that I need to read yet, so I can kind of get to them, but I haven't been reading lately, which I need to get back to, because I know I have some more reviews that I need to do. Obviously, the first book I would recommend for anybody, and like I've said before, I have a hard time reading it, but is definitely the Bible. And so I would definitely recommend that above all else and everything. I think that everybody should have a Bible and everything, and definitely keep that in mind. This book here is Emily Dickinson, her poetry, poems are beautiful, beautiful book. My grandparents actually bought this for me, my grandmother. This was back in 2002, which is pretty cool. And I have a little list in here of different poems that have stood out to me. Emily Dickinson, for me, holds a very special place in my heart, because she was very, very talented. And it's always a shame that when you die, that's when you get the most of your recognition for whatever you do. And I don't know, I really wish that she would have been recognized more in her time. I wish it wouldn't have taken that long for people to see, just how wonderful she really was. And I'm looking at some of the notes that I made here of different things, different poems that I liked. And let me see here what we have. Let's see. Here's one. Not all of these have names. It says, "If you were coming in the fall, I'd brush the summer by with half a smile and half a spurn, as housewives do a fly. If I could see you in a year, I'd wind the months in balls and put them each in separate drawers until their time befalls. If only centuries delayed, I'd count them on my hand, subtracting till my fingers dropped into Van Diemen's Land. Diamond's Land. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. If certain when this life was out that yours and mine should be, I'd toss it yonder like a rind and taste eternity. But now, all ignorant of the length of the time's uncertain wing, it goads me like the goblin bee that will not taste its sting." Just so very, very beautiful words. Another book, and this is kind of a cutesy book, and I don't. This is so old the pages are actually turning yellow. Of course, I can tell you why this was bought for me back in '92, back when I was in 2nd grade, and I've been out of school here next year. It'll be 10 years, so it's been a long time. Winnie the Pooh. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's kind of bright in here. trying to get that so you can... Winnie the Pooh is most definitely a classic. Now, the movie's out right now, and I can't afford it, obviously. But it's one of those movies that I really, really want. And I said I didn't care if I was broke, I would find a way to come up with the money to get it. And I haven't been able to, and it breaks my heart because I really love this story. So I definitely recommend it. Another one is, and like I said, I picked these out just at random. So, another one is Briar Rose by Jane Rowland. Very good book. This book, and one of the things that you'll find with me also is the fact that I am really big on the Holocaust, and it's just one of those things that for me, it's very hard to read some of the books because they're very heart-wrenching, and it's hard to know that it's like that it's not a fantasy story, you know, that this actually happened, and it's very hard to deal with. But it's also good to educate yourself on things of the past, since we seem to be kind of going back through the past now as we go through the years here with things that are going on and whatnot. So I think that it's good to kind of get in touch with the past just to see the realities for certain people, the things that we take for granted now, that just how they would have been able to help these people in the past. And this is a very, very good book about the Holocaust, and I definitely recommend it and everything. That's Briar Rose. Another book here, let's skip ahead to something more recent. Another book here, definitely major props to Rick Springfield for his book Late at Night. I don't have the second book that came out, which gives an extra chapter and more pictures. And if you know me, you know that I like if I buy a book, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up and I'm going to locate pictures. There's no way around it. I'm going to immediately go for the pictures and everything because I love pictures. It's the same thing I do when I get a CD. You know, I look through the booklet and everything, not only for the lyrics, but I look for the pictures. I love pictures and everything. But this was very well written, and I think that one of the things you have to realize is not only is that Rick Springfield is not only, you know, he's not just a sex symbol, he's not just a singer-musician, but he's also a songwriter. And that's something that I think a lot of people might not pay attention to if you're not into songwriting and stuff, but he's definitely a very good songwriter. Roxanne Behave. He's definitely a good songwriter and definitely a good author as well. And if he wanted to take, you know, and retire his music, which I hope he doesn't, but if he ever would retire, you know, doing music, I hope that he will take up being an author, because I think that he would be very good at that. And someday I'm hoping to own the second book to this. I actually got this in Walmart, and they don't have the newer version out yet. So, I mean, it's out, but they don't have it in Walmart. I don't know if they'll get it in or not, but definitely check out Rick Springfield. I have Steven Tyler's book that he wrote, and I don't know, Steven, and I know Steven would never see this, but Steven, I don't know. Your story is crazy, it's wild, it's fun, it's sexy. It's every typical rock and roller's dream. And I'm amazed you're still alive, dude, after all the crap you've done. But I have to say that it's very hard to read. I had a very hard time staying in with it. It took me a long time to read it. Because, I mean, it's like with Rick's, it kind of flowed, and we couldn't wait to read the next chapter. With Stevens, I kind of struggled with it because he's kind of all over the place. So I wouldn't recommend him to be an author, but he's definitely a good musician. Another one is Marley and Me. Now, I have not only this version, well, I shouldn't say version because really the version doesn't change, but I have the hardcover here, and then I have a fancier version that doesn't have the sleeve. It's just your normal hardcover, which is really, really awesome too, and it's got the bookmarker in it and everything, very fancy. Marley and Me is a very wrenching book to a point towards the end. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch the movie again because I bawl so bad. It takes me back to when I had to put my Sammy Joe down. But I definitely recommend to read the book. And it's funny, you know, it's a funny story. They did really good on the movie. I really enjoyed it, and the book's really good, and I remember I bawled at the end of the book. Now, the book I could probably read again, but I don't know if I could watch the movie again so much. But I definitely, at the end of the book, I cried and everything, and I felt the story, and I really, like I said, I really enjoy it, and I recommend it for everybody. Another book is Racing in the Rain. Now, I actually, this is Racing in the Rain, My Life as a Dog. There's actually another book and everything which is called The Art of Racing in the Rain. And I feel like I might have bought the wrong book when I bought this one, but it was kind of cheapish to a point and everything, and was within a price range that I could afford. And I never did get the other version. The only thing I can see, and I might be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that maybe like one was more like directed towards like adults, and then one was more like the one I have here is more like a kid's version and everything, a little more like a kid-friendly version. Not that there's anything in there that kids can't read, but it's more like a kid-friendly version. But I definitely recommend Racing in the Rain. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It is so amazing. The book is pretty much, the story is pretty much, obviously it's written by the author and everything, but it's written to be as if the dog is telling the story. And you're not going to find a better one when it comes to books for animal lovers. I actually took up the whole thing of buying, if I see a book about a dog that I think is really interesting, or even like with a cat and everything, because I think I packed away somewhere. I know I read my grandma's version. Maybe I don't actually have the book, but Dewey, the library cat, I definitely recommend that. Just animal-friendly books are so much fun to read, and they tell a really good story, and I think that it's nice because a lot of them, not all of them and everything obviously, but some of them are true stories, and it's something just to read what other people go through and how the animal kind of relates to the humans and everything, just to show that animals aren't stupid. They are very smart, and it's nice when people portray that and let you see that, so that maybe somebody that's not so much into animals can maybe understand them a little bit better. Another book here is a hard read, Anne Frank. This is The Diary of a Young Girl, with and there's an introduction here by Eleanor Roosevelt. Now, The Diary of Anne Frank is something that everybody normally reads in school, and I didn't actually have to. No, my mom told me when she was in school that they had to read the book, and then they even had to watch the movie, but I never had to read it in school. And if they did read it eventually, like in high school and everything, I just wasn't there. I was homeschooled. But reading this book, now I have a few other books that have to do with Anne Frank and everything, because like I said, I'm into the Holocaust and everything, but it's very difficult to read. I cried an awful lot while reading it, struggled an awful lot and everything to read it. But I think that everybody should, because once again it comes back to appreciating the things you have now when you look back and you see the things that the other people didn't have, and you put yourself in her shoes and what it must have been like to be her. So I definitely recommend that. And I'm slowly running out of time here. Another book here is The Shack. Now I'm sure that a lot of people have heard of this. The Shack is a very good book. I did a lot of, well, I thought I did some highlighting in here. But anyway, I recommend it. If you want to, if you're a Christian who wants something interesting, read it. If you're looking to be a Christian, I definitely recommend it. It's one of those books like somebody has here, you know, about that I laughed, you laugh, you cry, and everything. It's just one of these books and everything that really draws you in. It really makes sense and everything, and it makes a good point. So I would definitely recommend that. And in the ending of this video, because like I said, these aren't all my favorite books, I wanted to bring up real quick. I don't have it here with me because I have it packed away. I have a couple different like versions of the same story, but different kind of copies and stuff with different covers and whatnot. And There Were None by Agatha Christie. I recommend everybody read this book. The first time I read it was in school for my reading class. And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie just blew me away. Agatha Christie, all her books are really amazing. She was an amazing author. Definitely somebody to look into. And you can't beat it. It's just amazing. And I probably will talk about that more later. I want to do a shameless plug real quick. Don't forget my book, Sarah's Journey. Definitely check that out. And Hazel Eye Smile. Just go to www.lulu.com. slash Hazel Eyes Tiffany, and check that out and everything. And real quick, if I can get it in here real quick, A Breeze of Whispers 1 by my friend